So the antibody test, we're getting ready to roll that out, or did it start on Tuesday? We started on Tuesday.
Yes.
And we are rolling that out to staff first, and it's going out in waves.
Right.
Our clinical staff that are on the COVID floors, that are interacting with the COVID patients, that's the first wave.
Right.
And then we will roll that all the way out to non-clinical staff that's away from the hospital, such as Deborah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then also first responders, we're going to offer that to first responders
Yes,
at
yeah.
the same time. So do you have anything to add about the antibody testing?
So we actually, the one thing we do have a nice supply of is antibody test kits. So we will be able to also offer that to the community. And we're working with our community liaison team to talk with the physicians' offices about how they can access that for their patients. And that it would be just like when you do any other lab work, you would be able, the doctor would put in an order and you come to one of our labs and get your blood drawn for the antibody test. So we're working on giving that information to the providers. We've gotten through, we've put the testing, antibody testing out there to about 3,000 of our employees already. Not everybody has to test, which is absolutely fine. And then as those results come in and we start to compile that is another piece of information we'll share with the community on antibody testing numbers and how many healthcare workers tested positive for antibodies versus how many people actually did the test, and try to break down different types of providers too.
Right. Okay. So final question for you, Carrie. How long are we keeping our command center open?
So the end date is not something that's set in stone, and we don't actually have a command center end date because we still have incident response going on. There's still new things coming up, so we still need that command center to adjust operations. What we are doing is taking all the operations we put in place the last 2.5 months and making them part of our normal operations, the ones that need to stay in place. As those become solidified and they are all absorbed into our normal structure, as well as we see a decreased need for emergency or crisis response that might come up, then we'll look at closing down the command center. So I do think that it will be in the next 6 weeks. But what we have to be careful of is as our county reopens and we go back to normal operations within the county, what will that do for the health of our county? And so we are watching that closely. We're not taking for granted anything. And so it's this constant vigilance on what are the structures that were put in place with the restaurants and businesses and health and the fitness facilities and the churches. What are they doing to make sure that they mitigate any risk, eliminate risk to their members and their customers? And if that's stable and our county numbers stay stable and we don't see an influx and we know we have to wait almost 2 weeks after any change to see what really happened, then we'll start to look at closing down the command center. But we are moving a lot of our operations into a more normal state because we are still going to be working on responding to coronavirus until there is a vaccine and immunity among our community. It won't be a crisis response anymore. It'll just be a part of our normal operations.
Right.
So putting those things in place.
Right.